Hey Dylan. All right. This again is the top 10 terminal commands video. And because I don't know, I think a lot of people, especially non technical, want to be able to open up the terminal and they want to be able to see, like, what can I do with it? I think there's definitely like a cool factor. I mean, I felt pretty cool sometimes when I can, pipe things together and manipulate files in ways that other people can't do it, or at least do it in such a way that's like super fast. So that's what this video is. Um, and not only what it is, I want to talk a little bit about the why. Like, why do you want these terminal commands? Number one, all software engineering is like what you said. We'll use this to start off our video. All it is it's just a list of files and folders. That's it. And what you do with them is you're either creating them, you're reading them, you're updating them, or you're deleting them. That sentence holds true for everything that you see on the internet. A video is just a file. An audio is just a file, right? A website, it's just a folder of files. A web page is a file. That's all it is. What software engineering is, you either create, read, update, or delete it. That's it. If you can get that in your brain, I don't know. I think that will hold true for you as people climb the mountain of software engineering. But the complexity is what happens if, let's say, for example, 10,000 people want to manipulate the same single file. I mean, that's difficult, right? Like, tell 10,000 people to make a peanut butter sandwich. And I'm pretty sure, as easy as that is, there's going to be quite a lot of people that get it and do it differently. So that's where the complexity lies in with software engineering. Okay. Now, the second thing is, well, why learn the terminal commands then? Because the terminal commands allows you to practice this philosophy. You can either create a file, you're reading a file, updating or deleting them. Actually, and I'm doing this live, or at least in this video, this is read, this is not really doing anything. It's just changing directory. This is create, this is delete, this is a combination of create and delete, this is create, this is read, and this is read. So let's organize this. You can see how my brain works. Based off of, I'll put CD in the front. Maybe CD I think is read. And we'll start there. So the commands are are just a practice of this. And I think it's good practice. Now, on the bottom right-hand side here, I'm showing you what I think 99% of Mac users use is the Finder, right? Why? Because my goal is to eliminate the complexity that is on YouTube and to make it just extremely easy just with an analogy. You can literally do all of these and maybe easily using Finder. Like, if your only goal is to just know the top 10 terminal commands and like that's it, don't even use the terminal, Just do these things and use it on the Finder. Now, why is it then do you want to have the terminal commands and you want to get good at it? Is because the terminal doesn't only do the most basic things. You can do like networking stuff. You can like grep stuff together. You can pipe things together. There's just like all these tools that the terminal can use, that the terminal can do, that just opens up your world of like code and engineering. But to enter into that world, before it can get interesting, you first need to know the basics. So that is why you want to learn the top 10 terminal commands. So we'll start off with the most very basic one, which I think first one should be PWD. Oh. And PWD literally says print the current working directory. Oh. Don't worry. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna go into print working directory. Let's just start from there. So when I type in PWD, this is literally the working directory that is on your file system. Now, sometimes when we're on Finder, we're like, okay, we know what these things are, right? But where are they actually in like the most bottom level of the oceans of your computer? You can't find that with Finder. But when you type in PWD, you can. And if you see this, this is very similar to if I open up a web page. If I go youtube.com, you know, and I press this.
Based on the games that I've played against them, I think I'm...
Maybe clicking history. It's very similar here. YouTube used the same thing. /feed/history. This is the computer name, and this is the working directory. Your computer also has a working directory, and that is what it is, right? So that's PWD, print working directory. I would recommend you combining PWD with CD. CD means change directory. And I will have this like notes uploaded on a GitHub. Okay. So you can CD and just press it. And I don't know if you remember from the last video, if nothing shows up, that means it's a good thing. And just type in PWD. Users/ben. So when you type in CD and nothing happens, there's no argument, this is your default directory folder. Wow. I take this for granted. This is actually like a lot harder to explain, I would say, than to use once you get it. But it's all good. If you can just sort of remember that, you can just type in CD PWD and it just sort of shows up. Okay? Now, if that's all you have, it's like, okay, I can't really do anything, right? Now, this comes into the third one, ls, which means list files. So if you say print working directory, right? I want to list the files that I have in this directory. Man, I'm kind of scared. I don't really know what I have. Okay, that's fine. So now I can say like, okay, in this folder, I have applications, downloads, music, screenshots, desktop, library, pictures, etc. Which, if you can see, is very similar to this. So if you could put two and two together, you can say, PWD, that in my computer, in the /users/ben folder, the files that exists are these. Okay, let me actually just take this on my own because I got these from ChatGPT and I don't know if they're the best, right? So, okay, to prove this, I want to give you the open dot, or just you open command. Dot basically means in this current directory. right? Because it's like saying like, okay, open. It's going to say, well, open what? You know, the computer's like, open what? So the dot is just, you know, this history of these engineers that said, open here, like in this directory. Open in users ben. So instead of having to type in like this, I can replace this with just a dot. And guess what happens? I hope that in itself, like, there's some neurons that are connecting in your mind. And only with 3 or 4 commands, you're already being able to tie together your file system that you see on Finder to the terminal. And with that single knowledge, you're not now thinking, oh, what commands I can do to be like this matrix cool guy. Your mindset shifts to become more so like, oh, well, the terminal is just a connector of my file system. Now, that's actually very, very powerful, because I hope what that does is it should change your mindset of like, well, what is actually in my folder and file system? Because Finder, this part here, is not going to give you that. It's going to give you just like this wrapper or like some cool customization on top of, you know, some cool color folders, but it doesn't give you what's actually underneath. But here, you can actually now swim into that, right? Okay. Earlier, the dot, the open dot, basically says in PWD, it just replaces PWD, this user's ben, to just dot, right? So if I do cd dot, nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be in the same directory. You add one more dot, it deletes the last one. Yeah, just think of it as like deleting the last folder. So if you cd dot dot, it'll just go, yeah, you guessed it, /users. And this is where it gets crazy. Okay, now you type in ls, what the heck is that? Right? Like there's shared and there's ben. Oh. Now you can say Mac stores me as my file user, Ben, and all the contents that you see, and a shared folder in this user's directory. I don't even know if I can do this. I think it's like restricted. Oh no, you can. So you see? Now what happens if you go at the lowest level? Like what is the lowest level that Mac will give you, right? You're in the bottom of the ocean, man. It's just a slash. It's like going to like google.com and there's like nothing ahead of it, or like youtube.com, there's nothing. You can think of it as like the home page of your computer. I've actually never thought of it like that, but I think that's a great analogy. Okay, let's see what happens. Boom. Now from here, you can even see that's a magical right there. That's a magical. Okay, I don't even know what the hell this is, right? Cryptex's developer. There's just some weird stuff in here that, I don't know, might be good to like put in ChatGPT and be like, hey, what the hell are these things, you know? Your volumes, all that stuff. Okay. So hopefully with these 4 commands, cd, which means change directory, pwd means print working directory, and ls, which means list files, and then open dot, and then cd dot dot, right? Change directory, you can do some pretty cool discovery with your MacBook. Okay. Now let's go back, and I'm pretty sure there's a better way to like organize all of this stuff, but I'm just doing this stuff on the fly, and I'm discovering things on my own. I think it's funner this way anyways. Okay, so now there's that's, I guess, one concept. Is like now you can connect your terminal to the stuff on your Finder, right? And this other stuff I think is pretty straightforward. Let's start with the create. So like make dir is literally create a folder, like folder 1. And look, you'll literally see it. Boom. It shows up, right? Now, okay, if I can create a folder, why would I need to do it anyways? Like here, you can do a new folder, right? Folder 2. I guess the only difference is one, they have like a ton of options, like mode, like you could look it up. Like there's just a bunch of options on creating a folder, but you can do something like this. Folder 3, folder 4, folder 5. And it creates it once and for you. And that right there, I just show you the power of computers. You know, like if there's like something that you can do repetitively, computers can do it like super quickly. But you have to be careful because with things that are like super simple, it's easy, like creating a folder, right? You can delete it, it's easy. And it needs to be defined. So that's one. So make dir is create folder. Touch is literally the same thing, but it's creating a file. So maybe these two are good. So like, you know, touch file1.txt, boom, right? You can also do it here. Okay, I guess you can't. I don't really know how. Can you duplicate here? Copy, right? You paste it. You could do that. But same thing. You could do touch file 2, file 3, file 4. And yeah, that's basically it. So what is that? That is 4, 5, 6. I've given y'all... That's 6 commands. Yeah, let's organize this a bit better. 6 commands, and then let's do 7, 8, 9. Let's not do grep. Let's just finish off with this. Cat, very simple. Let's say you open this and you say hello world and you save it. Right? It's like, okay, ls, I want to list my files because look, you don't have your Finder, has a bunch of these. It's like, okay, how do I see what's inside file1.txt without opening my Finder? Your answer is cat. Hello world. So that's it. Okay, let's say I want to copy file1.txt. And I want to say it cat.txt. Use copy. And you see it's 2 parameters. It's copy, and this one is what file, maybe like original file, new file to be copied, new copy file. So these are the arguments. So you say copy CP, your original file, which is file1.txt, and then what you want the name to new file. So if I go and say cat, because I want to read it, cat.txt, it shows the same thing. Move is basically both rename and move. So let's say like cat.txt, I want to move it to dog.txt, right? And let me write that down. Command original to, like where you want to direct it towards. And just like that, it got moved. So if I want to move it back to cat.txt, I do dog.txt and cat.txt and pay attention to this here. It moved, right? Or it got renamed. You can also move it to like different files and directories. So I want to move cat.txt to folder 1. It deleted, and you open a folder 1, it got moved there. So nothing too cryptic. And then the last thing is rm is deleted. So I want to remove abc.txt. It gets deleted. And just like that, that's your top 10. You know, but I think what's most important, than just like understanding commands, you know, is like understanding what it's for, right? It's like everybody knows like a knife, you just use it to cut, right? But what's more important is like what meal you want to make, right? It's like, oh, if you know that a knife, all you do is cut, but you don't know if you're making a peanut butter jelly sandwich or if you're cutting vegetables or you're making sushi, your information of just cutting a knife just doesn't really, it's like, so what? It just cuts, right? Same thing with the commands of the terminal. I would say what's super powerful is just stick with these four: CD, change directory, PWD, print working directory, ls, list files, and open. And just mess around with Finder and make the connection. Put two and two together. Be like, oh, this is how and do research. Maybe that's great homework to like research on like what your MacBook and like where your files and folders are all at. Like, how does Mac design their folders using the terminal? Because it works, right? Like, there's like 1 million people or more that have MacBooks, and nobody really is like, this file is weird because it needs to be there. Nobody has that problem. And like how they decide to do that is like quite powerful, right? And then these other ones are just like being able to manipulate files and folders inside of your terminal. So like advanced mode is like, you don't even need the Finder, right? You're just in the terminal, which is what I'm doing now. Like, I don't need to have the Finder to know exactly what my actions are doing. And to close it all off, we go back to what software engineering is and why even have a video like this instead of saying like, look, knives cut and, you know, forks pick things up and spoons, you can eat soup with it, you know? The most important thing is you need to be able to understand and create what it is that you want to do towards the end, right? The powerful thing about computers is that it uses a binary language, which is either 1 or 0, right? For example, you're either creating a file or you're not. Like, that's it. There's no like, maybe I'm creating it, maybe. No, it's either you are creating it or you're not. But the complexity, okay, before I go into the complexity, to sum it up, why we want to do the 10 terminal commands is because it's practice of what all software engineering is. So if you practice this and you get it in your brain, you learn this skill, let's say in 6 months you're going to learn web development, or you're going to learn, I don't know, man, like Python programming, or you're going to be a data engineer, or you're going to create systems and, you know, be an architect. You're going to design databases. You're going to go into Postgres, or you're going to be a hacker, or like literally any combination. You're going to be a front-end designer. You're going to work on CSS. Anything that you do, this skill and having this one invariant of understanding that all computer and software engineering is this, is going to take you far. Okay? I had a ton of fun doing that. That was kind of crazy how to explain it because this is something that I do on the daily and I don't even think about it. So having to pause and slow down and trying to explain it has been super fun for me. So if there's anything that anyone wants more information about, or be like, make a video on this or that, or like how AI works, or how AI agents works, or like what NANN is doing, I would love to make videos on that. The reason why is because I think that the motivation for me is, one, I love doing this. It's just so fun to teach. And secondly is I think it'd be cool to grow like a YouTube channel. But most importantly is that when I first started, I spent hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars purchasing like content and websites on YouTube, on Ruby on Rails, and all this stuff. And let's just say I think I can do a little bit better. You know, let's just put it that way. But yeah, anyways, they were all just super confusing to me. And I look back and I watch those videos and I'm like, dang, those people, yeah, I don't think it's right. You know, I think we're in an age right now where AI is going to be here, and I think everybody should have at least some basic knowledge of how to cut a knife. You know, like, and it shouldn't be monetized. So, I don't know. I guess democracy for being able to have some computer skills without being super confused. All right. Thank you guys. I had a ton of fun.